yeah, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Shkodder playing the 17th SS on Maverick Income. He is up against Nilla on the right-hand side in red, playing Kuruk 559 on Vanguard Income. Vanguard? No, balanced. What am I saying? I'm just so used to Nilla playing an early game Income. So, Scottish deck. What do we see here? Maverick Income. Panzerschrecks in A and B. That's kind of interesting. The only artillery unit being the Kubel. Plenty of MG42s. 6 in A and then 8 in B. So, and then lots of Stug 4s. 12 in total. So, not over the top. This is a Maverick deck. So, the only C-phase card being the Panzer Grenadier. Looks like Shkodder's going to try an A-phase push and then use the off-map to kind of continue on through B-phase. I expect that's the strategy that he will try to employ. Nilla on the right, he's playing balanced income, so it's all about containing the push. I've heard about his Kuruk deck in the past, and let's have it up on screen. It's going to use a lot of 10-point Schumer and 20-point infantry early on to kind of flood the battlefield with infantry, I suspect. Flat guns in A and B. He's got the earlier, cheaper variant. You can afford them on balanced at 110 points per tick, so you can afford those flak 85 mils. Perhaps using the HS129s in B phase to take out any of those Stug 4s that are on the battlefield. Does have access to the Pack 36, 37 mils with the heat rockets, you know, Pack 40s as well, and then there's this 2 guns in B phase. Let's get the game going. Here we go. Here we go. Bit of a delay there. So on the left hand side, we've got Shkodder. Maverick Income looks like he's going to push over the open ground on the south of the city. Up north as well, pushes up the roads, and on the right hand side we have Nilla in red playing Kuruk 559, balanced income, pushing an early Flammenwerfer, trying to take the flag. Yeah, that's the obvious play. Actually, it's not a Flammenwerfer, it looks like it's a LVF Chasseurs going up in there. And lots of Sekirungs coming down south. So kind of an over-investment from Nilla to defend the south. I mean, he wouldn't have known that Shkodder's barely put anything in there. But clearly an over-investment. And look at this, a sneaky Flammenwerfer going past everything and capturing a rear flag right now. 13-11 to Shkodder. Picking up the early lead, but I'm sure that Flammenwerfer will get re-surrounded, yeah, and he won't maintain that flag for too long. Early BF 109 coming in, trying to hit the Pack 184. Does get the early kill, nice job. Looks like we've got the SPW2 33s that were trying to come through the open ground, but the combination of the captured Russian 45mm and the Pack 40 up on the top of the hill takes down those SPWs. SPW 231 in the centre starts to fire down onto the Pioneers. The SS Legionnaires start to hop forward buildings. They do have the Molotov cocktails, or at least one of them, to chuck forwards, and they are fanatical, so they won't surrender in the face of the enemy. BF 109 continues to stay in the fight, looking to strafe down the Pack 40, but Nilla has immediately moved that one back after firing, so those shots won't be on target. SPW ADGZs coming into the battlefield. Beautiful looking unit. You don't see those often. Don't see this division often either, which is why I kind of wanted to cast it. Flammenwerfer have pushed forwards in the south, discovered the enemy Flammenwerfer. They'll have a little duel, but in the end, Nilla will contain the south quite successfully. Won't have any problems in that because of his investment down here to defend the south. SS Legionnaire continues to push forward. The Spiver Band are taken out. The BF 109 continues to try and strafe down that Pack 40, but not really able to get any kills. Flammenwerfer did go down to the Schumer that came in, and the Panzer T-34 as well. came in to clear them up. SBW231 kind of taking up a position against the hill line to shoot down any reinforcements coming down that road. Although, yep, I thought Shkodder was going to push him up the hill, but doesn't look like it. So he will be able to contain that reinforcement road. Could be key. 45mm now has HE shells on it, so is able to fire at infantry. I'm still not sure I like that change. It basically gives a cheap support gun to the Russians. LVF Grenadiers pinned down by the SBW231 on the road, which then backs off again. Legionaries are being hit by those SBW ADGZs. Spivermans retreated earlier, but they are not able to make it back into their positions. And yeah, do eventually go down. Nilla's still not cleared up this southern side, but there's going to be no push forwards from Shkodder. Shkodder does pick up the flag down here in the south, 1311. May be able to pick up this more northern centre flag as well. But I think Nilla will be pretty pleased so far, holding Shkodder at a 1311, balanced versus Maverick. 4 minutes into this game. Flammenworth has covered itself off against smoke. Might be able to push forwards and kill the MG34 there. A lot of reinforcing infantry coming in from Nilla. MG42 pushing down around the sides of the city. Will have a nice little viewpoint from that building across any reinforcements. Although the 85mm might be able to fire on that unit. Yeah, 1750 should be able to fire on the MG42 out of kind of distance of reply. So yeah, the MG42 is going to go down. The Pak 40 as well, able to fire from the top of the hill. Am I wrong there? That wasn't 1250. Was it? Yeah, it was just inside that range. So the flak going down there. Bit of a loss for Nilla. Bit of a loss for Nilla. Thanks very much for the follow. Always injured. Much appreciated. Volksdeutsche up north did nick the flag for a moment, but these SBW ADGZs are being used quite effectively by Nilla to kind of suppress the enemy units right now. Both players using these light autocannon units to great effect. LV Grenadiers start to push forwards into the buildings. Nilla holding a 12-12. The SBW233 did go down earlier to the T-34, but the SIG-33 up on the hill takes a shot. It's got to be with a HE. It's got to be with a HE there. Because that thing can't fire the heat shells unless it's at, what, 750? Yeah, that had to have been a HE shot. Still kind of getting a little bit used to the range changers, even though they've been in play for quite a while. Shkodder brings in some Aufklar reinforcements, but these are really for the SBW222s with those auto cannons. Nilla now starting to make a push forwards in the south. Actually, I think Shkodder was pushing forwards his Flammenwerf, so kind of both players looked like they were moving units at the same time. Nilla is able to trade 1-for-1 with those Flammenwerfs, so the south is completely covered now. ME410 came in and didn't quite see what unit that engaged, but Shkodder does have two 37mm out on the ground, and that ME410 does go down. Marder 3M and a Stug 4 on the way in. Another Marder 3 ordered for Shkodder. But Nilla still holding him at a 12-12. 45mm, able to take a shot at that SBW222. Does go down with the second shot. Bit of a loss for Shkodder because he will have brought that unit in specifically for the SBW222 rather than the Aufklar himself. Volksdeutsche kind of caught in the open. Not sure whether that was a good move, pushing that forwards, because the front line should shift pretty heavily in Nilla's favour now. It might let him know there's nothing else really there, although he isn't going to be able to cross forwards over that open ground anytime soon. ME109 G6 BR21 coming in to try and hit the Pak 40. Has Nilla moved it away in time? I don't think he has. Might go down here. Ooh, loses 5 men. Not able to go down. Good to see these rocket planes being utilised again. They are much faster and able to fire at longer distance than the kind of fighter bomber variants. But for a long while, they haven't been used because the amount of damage they do isn't as significant as the fighter bomber variants, and they've generally been more costly, although Eugen are starting to rebalance some aircraft prices, so it is good to see the rocket planes in action once again. Shkodder retakes this northern flag, so it goes up to a 13-11, but really, is it enough for a Maverick player? Bringing in some SPW233 reinforcements, but we'll need that B phase off map really to push forwards. Nilla has got a hell of a lot of Sekirungs in here. All of these 20-point units with the LVF Grenadiers and the Sekirungs, really cheap to come in as a balanced player and hold the line. So he's got plenty of them in here. I think it's going to take an off-map to dislodge this front line, but Shkodder does have one. He's going to have to wait another minute until B phase, and I'm imagining that is going to be the first calling onto the battlefield. I feel like we're kind of waiting for that off-map right now. Nilla's not really going to push forwards, holding a 12-12. We've got the SIG firing up from the hill in the north. And, yeah, I mean, Shkodder, he's been held at this front line position. He can't really push forwards right now until he gets that heavy off-map onto the battlefield. So we're kind of waiting. It's a waiting game right now. The SPW233s do start to move forwards. There is still the Pak 36-37mm in the area. Nilla has the AP shells off, so it's only going to use those heat shells. 180mm of penetration at 750 meters damage. I mean, there's nothing that he really needs to penetrate at this point, but Marder 3M does go down up there to a Speverband with a Panzerfaust. Good move from Nilla. So we are now into B phase, but the first call in is an IG-33. And a couple of MG-42s. I feel like that's a mistake that Shkodder isn't buying his off-map on this first call-in because he doesn't have a lot of time as a Maverick player. 12-12, he needs that off-map to push forwards in the centre. The whole game is kind of stalled right now for him. Here comes a BF-109 G6BR-21. This is one of his earlier planes. Heading into the battlefield. Looks like it's going after the SPW-ADGZ. MG-42 pushing forward, surprising the Speverband. Down goes the SPW. The plane doesn't make it through anyway. And the Speverband in close action. The MG-42 can't fire. He can fire against the Landesführer and the Sekirungs, but he couldn't fire against the Speverband. And it was a bit of a mistake there for Shkodder, and it was taking long-range shots from the flak M39 as well. Here comes the off-map. This is what Shkodder needs to push forwards. We're waiting for it. It's going to be a little while longer until the shells start to come down. But yeah, this is what we need. And it looks like he's possibly preparing a push on the southern side as well with some infantry call-ins, but Nilla has a very strong presence on the southern side. He hasn't had to reinforce it from the very start of the game. Nilla looking very strong right now. Balanced income holding the Maverick player at 12-12 for such a long period of the game. Unless Shkodder can really push through and push through hard, I don't think he's going to be able to successfully win this game. We're really counting on the off-map to really give them the impetus for charge forwards. We do have the first Kampfpanzer 3E. I love this little skin on the Valentine Mark III. Gun jam on the Marder 3M at the back. That's not helpful to Shkodder. In comes the off-map. I have a feeling there might be an error on the replays at the moment, which means I can't see it being placed down. I'll have to keep my eyes on, because I imagine he would have placed that down already. But in terms of infantry, he doesn't have infantry waiting to push. He's got nothing really ready to push forwards, which is a massive worry for Shkodder right now. Because even if an off-map comes down, he's got nothing to really push forwards after it and try and gain ground. His prepared infantry units are down in the south. It would have been better to have the off-map down in the south to launch after the and launch these infantry units after an off-map onto this position. I mean, it might be that he's not placed this off-map down yet and he's waiting for him. Here it goes. Okay, so it is. He was waiting to place it down. Is he going to shift this south? No. So, I think it's odd putting an off-map down in the centre and not really having any infantry reinforcements to push in after it. He's kind of prepared the attack in the south, but this is where the off-map should be, in my eyes. Attack 40 going down there to the SIGs down in the south. I mean, this off-map is nicely placed over a hell of a lot of units. He just doesn't have the units. I guess he's going to use the SDKFZ-7s maybe and the SBW233 to push forwards after this off-map. Volksdeutsche make their way forwards, but they're going to get caught in the blast. Especially being disheartened, they're going to retreat immediately, although there are only 2 men there, so he's not really going to be relying on it. They have to unload early, although that's so he can use the SBW222s in the push. Now the infantry come, but they're a bit too late. He has got the second off-map placed down, exactly where the infantry units are going to retreat to. Ooh, Nilla moving back the commander, so I think he's predicting the second off-map call. Really nice move from Nilla there. Really good intelligence at work. Self-awareness to know that the off-map is going to come right where these units are retreating into it. And the commander might still go down. Nilla moving it again, realises the jeopardy that he's in, but he's kept the Grenadier in position to hold the flag as long as possible. BF 109 into the battlefield, double BF 109. Look at the northern side. Schumer pushing forwards there, capturing flags. Nilla actually has a 13-11 right now, despite being the balanced player. And Shkodder really needs this centre push to work out for him, because 13-11 down is not a good position to be in. Maverick versus balanced. BF 109 G6 does get shot down. I think he's yeah, here comes the second off map. So they're pushing the south, supported the off map, supported by all the infantry pushing straight after, might be enough to hand Shkodder these 3 flags, as well as perhaps a sustained attack in the centre. I don't think it's over yet. Stug 4 goes down to a close range trade with the T-34, that's what it felt like. Schupo goes down with the barrage from the second off-map. Looks like he's pushing forwards an attack without an early off-map strike, which is kind of strange. Kind of strange not to have the off-map prior to the push-in with infantry, because none of this infantry is now stunned up, unless he's going to use like an emergency off-map. Really strange not to have seen this off-map placed down already. I mean, he could be scouting out what's here and deciding exactly where to place his off-map. But at the moment, he's not really microing that portion of the battlefield. Legionnaires pushing through in the centre. One of them lost in the transport. BF 109's coming in down south. First one going in after the Speerverband. Yeah, both of them trying to hit those Speerverbands. Still no off-map placed down south. The Schumers still have the flag up north. BF 109 sticking around for now. Yeah, his Panzer Grenadiers are getting pinned down and lost. The off-map's moving forwards. This is a new off-map. It's definitely got charges on him. I think he's trying to get the barrage on the reinforcement road. I think that's probably his plan. Yeah, here it goes with this off-map. Trying to hit the reinforcements, stop them from coming in so he can take the positions with his infantry. I still think it was a mistake not to at least bombard the area early on with the off-map and then push through with the infantry. Nilla now using the captured Russian M30 heavy howitzers to try and shell the position. If he gets a lucky shot onto this off-map, that would be a big kill. Barrage off-map is going to come down now. Are the Schumers going to all make it through? I think enough of them have made it through. WW2 goes down up in the north. SBW ADGZs are in here. We've got some Panzerschreck. I mean, they're not... The Panzerschrecks can't reach, though. There's nothing with long range. Here comes the Ju-87 G1, although I think the line of sight is hurting Shkodder here as Nilla rushes one of them forwards. And the M30s start shelling the positions where these Germans are. Really not helping... or really pinning down the German units before they can push forwards. SBW222 goes down to his SBW ADGZ counterpart. Ju-87 coming in for the side shot onto the Tiger. Does get it. Nice kill. There is still another Tiger onto the battlefield, and it looks like the final off-map being placed down. Shkodder being held, like, being just held at the tiniest margin by these flags in the centre. And the Schumer still have this flag up north with the Speerverband pushing forward since now. Nilla all this time has had a 13-11 or for a long period, and the attack in the south looks like it's stalled. Needs another off map to come down and reinforcing infantry. It is coming in now. We're about to hit C phase. Shkodder has one more minute of his income advantage left. Has it been enough for him? He's really close to establishing a foothold on these two flags in the centre, and he's kind of close on this attack down south, but Nilla bringing in these cheap SS Shupos at what, 10 points apiece I think they are? Oh no, that's the Schumer that are really cheap. The Shupos are a little bit more expensive. I think they're 20 points. You know, he's just... Here we go. Yeah, 20 points apiece. You know, he's just bringing in bodies to get in the way of this German attack. Try and get as many bodies out here on the ground and halt this push forwards. We've still not seen that second off map down south. Schumer picking up two flags up north now. Man, those Schumer are giving Nilla value in terms of map control right now. Nilla up to a 14-10. 20 minutes gone. Here comes the second off map. This one's over a nice position, but his Pioneers are right on the edge of this off map. I feel like they are going to get caught and pinned down as well. He does have some Pioneers waiting to push forwards as well, though. That's nice to see. Shkodder really needs that off map to work well, I think, to push forwards here. We got some Panzer T-34s reinforcing. Pioneers are pushing forwards. We'll be able to kill the Schumer. I mean, there's just 5 men there. It looks like Nilla is launching an attack up north. He's had this era of the battlefield for so long, he's confident he can push forwards reinforcements and recapture it. Off-map has come into play in the south, or has it? No, I think Shkodder has repositioned it after breaking the lines in this southern attack here. It's still 12-12. Nilla holding Shkodder to a 12-12. And I feel like as a balanced player right now, Nilla is in full control of this match. Unless something drastic happens in the next 5 minutes, Nilla is going to be very happy with his positioning right now. Shkodder really needs to advance forwards. Here comes the off map. Maybe this is what will give him the impetus to push on. Stug 4. He's trying to race forwards and get these kills. There is a Valentine in the area, although it isn't the 6-pounder variant. Okay, it's the 2-pounder variant, so not quite as good as the 6-pounder variant of the Valentine. Not able to do as much damage against the German armour as I was expecting it to. I think if this was a Valentine Mark 9 with the 6-pounder, it would easily be able to take on this Stug 4 at this kind of range, but it isn't. Stug 4 pushing forwards, able to get into the long, or hoping to get into the long range fight here. Shkodder's picked up the position. It's still a 12-12, but the attack up north has come in. Schupo's pushing for the flags on the back line. Is Nilla going to get it? Panzer Grenadier and Schupo pass each other. So I feel like Nilla's going to get cut off here, even if he does get it. But those Panzer Grens are bound to go down. reinforcements that Shkodder's brought in have mostly gone down. The Panzergrenadiers might be able to pick up the surrenders here, though. Alpla pushing back, trying to recover the spawn. But he does have a T-34 to come up against up in that northern position. Back down south, Nilla's just got enough tanks in here. Has the Stug gone down? Looks like it has gone down. 12-12. I feel like Nilla is in full control now. Tiggery in the centre as well, really starting to help out. And Nilla's starting the pushback, it looks like, in the centre. Schumer's pushing forwards, building to building. 13-11 to Shkodder, retaking control of some flags up north. The Panzergrenadiers come in, hold the spawn, and the Aufklar will come back. Panzerschreck coming in to try and deal with the T-34. Might be able to do that. Does pick up the surrender on the way as well. Constant artillery fire raining down from the Russian, or the captured Russian artillery guns on the back line onto the German forces. But 3-star Pioneers, they are establishing themselves in the buildings. But still, Nilla holds the 12-12 thanks to the Speerverband down here in the houses or up on the northern side. Panzerschreck rushes forwards. Will he get the Panzerschreck kill? Yes, he does so. That protects this northern flank. The flag recaptured by Shkodder. 13-11. He's got 24 minutes. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Panzerschreck down here on the southern side should be able to pick up some T-34 kills here. Takes down one. Close enough to take down the second if he can reload in time. The tank not firing on it. Oh, it is doing with its main gun, but not with its machine gun. Down goes the T-34 on the southern side as well. Can the Panzerschreck push forward and get the third T-34 kill? It might relieve a lot of pressure, but the Schumer and the SS Schupo are pushing forwards once again. Here's the third Panzer T-34 kill from the from Tinnes with the Panzerschreck down south. Looks like we've got a multi-Vielfachwerfer down here in the south. I imagine that's going to hit a lot of these, probably this flag position here with all the 3-star Pioneers in on it. Will the Rona Pioneer rush straight in after it? Not quite sure. The reinforcement that I think Nilla wanted them down in this position, but they've chosen this flag to come down here. Nilla repicks up the centre flag. MG26 is pushing forwards, and a Tiger E. There is a Volksdeutsche here with a Panzerfaust, but Nilla's just about out of line of sight or range. Isn't out of range of the Panzerschreck Grindel, and that takes away a lot of the heavy armor here. If Shkodder can kind of defeat the Grenadiers, maybe he can push back, but he's not really got any vehicles of his own. Here comes the multi-Vielfachwerfer rocket attack. And Nilla, I think the reinforcements not really helping him, the AI with the pathing. He does have a couple of T-34s, not choosing to push them forwards yet. Now the orders come forwards. Shkodder just about holding on to the flag, but he's still 13-11 down here. Speerverband still holding on to this flag up here with the SS Schupo as well. Pioneers not enough to take them back so far. Nilla going to be really pleased with his performance. He's got 30 minutes to kind of hold on for the victory, and he's in C phase, sorry, with a pretty big income advantage over Shkodder right now. All he has to do is kind of sit at a 12-12. I think he'll be glad to kind of pull back this position and sit on this hill line. Doesn't really need to push beyond it. I think he'll be glad to sit in the positions that he's got and just hold Nilla. Hold Shkodder. Try and just trade positive. Shkodder does push forwards in the north. Pick up a couple of flags. But I don't think it's going to trouble Nilla too much. Just 2 Panzergrens on the assault. Nilla's immediately going to be able to reinforce and shut down this northern attack. Marder 3M in the back here. Somebody pointed that out in the Twitch chat long ago, and it hasn't pushed forwards at all to support the attack in the south. So I think Shkodder kind of missed that unit and didn't really move it forward with the attack. Perhaps the MG42 as well, I think, did the same. Even just moving it up, you know, a bit further forward could have helped him out in the engagements earlier on, or just pushing it forwards on tack, have all of his units on the front line at once. But in the end, wasn't the case for him. BF-109 G6 BR-21 making the long flight over his own forces, striking down at the Flammenwerfers, not getting the kill though. Don't think he knew exactly where that unit was and was guessing there, trying to get some kind of suppression onto those Flammenwerfers, have the Panzergrenz move forwards, but the Flammenwerfers are still alive and should be able to easily hold this attack. Yeah. Shkodder realising the danger that he's in. Oh, and finally does surrender the game. I think it was to be expected. 28 minutes, 45 seconds. Nilla picks up the victory. Congratulations to him. Trades negative. Shkodder, commiserations to him. Traded positive, 2,730 kills to 2,500 losses. It was a case of Nilla just throwing bodies in the way of the German attack. It didn't matter that he traded negative. He just wanted to put bodies in front of Shkodder, so there was too much to kind of push through, and he succeeded in doing just that and picked up the victory. Great game all round. Hopefully you enjoyed it on the Twitch chat. Hopefully you're enjoying it on YouTube as well. Let's have a look at the kills for Nilla, the pack 184, the Russian 45mm, taking down some of these light vehicles early on. I think that was pretty key for Nilla, getting rid of those light vehicles, and I really enjoyed the use of his SPW ADGZs early as well. Got them into nice positions and was constantly moving them around the battlefield and picking up the autocannon kills on a number of units. The SS Legionnaire, really key units to destroy for the 17th SS Panzergrenz. They are fanatical units, so they don't go down that easy. So destroying them, you know, is a tough ask early on in the game. But Nilla was able to use the SPWs to do that to great effect. What else do we have here? Tiger E only picking up an SPW 222 kill. This one down here does pick up an SIG kill. Just about trading positive there, I think, with the SIG kill and the Panzergrenz. Actually about paying for itself, not really trading positive. The Kampfpanzer 3E did take out the Stug 4. So that was me earlier. I think this was the one down south that I was kind of saying I would have preferred it to have been the Mark 9 version, but I imagine he got a side shot on that Stug 4, and the rate of fire on that 2-pounder, if you get into a position where you can get a side shot and you can penetrate, there's going to be like 3-4 rounds put into the side of that Stug 4 before you can even react. Over to Shkodder's side, we saw the early BF-109 that did seem to do some good damage, but unfortunately not enough. The SIG did take down a few units. Again, it just never felt like enough for Shkodder. He just never felt like he was going to be able to establish a kind of dominant lead. And I think he just needed to use his off-maps a bit more carefully, a bit more sort of well thought out, get that off map down and then have the infantry reinforcements straight behind it. I think it would have been better with the first off map call in being in the south where his prepared infantry units were, rather than being in center, which was the kind of normal play. And the Panzerschreck down south, Tinnies picking up a number of T-34 kills. Look at the Panzerschreck kills that Shkodder was able to get. Definitely getting value out of those Panzerschrecks. They accounted for a number of his kills, but really not quite enough for him. 28 minutes, 45 seconds. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Congratulations to Nilla. Commiserations to Shkodder.